Oh, thank you for having me as always, Kelly. Thank you very much.
I've been looking forward to this show because I think it's going to be um, really healing for a lot of people. I mean, I think we're all dealing with a lot of triggers and have been in this life, in this lifetime, and traumas from past lifetimes. But before we get started, and I want to say hello. Let's say hello to some people quick here. I just thank you so much, um, sending Butterfly for everything that you do. She's here early, plugging everything. She's and thank you for putting Julie's link up to Butterfly. I'm
Thank
trying
you
to
very much.
right here. Yep, here's Julie's link. And so anybody watching, please go over and subscribe to Julie's Fabulous channel. And Annie is here. I call you to the meditation duet.
Yeah, and soon to be a trio.
Yes, Diana. Tomorrow, Diana's going to join. Annie, are you both doing it together tomorrow, or is Diana doing it by herself? That's that. But I'm so excited to have Diana doing it also.
I know she's
I
excited.
love your guys' meditations.
It's fun. I think, yeah, she's going to be on with oh, yeah,
And Barbara is here, and another neighbor of ours.
nice.
And she says it's noon and on my second cup of coffee, trying to wake up. I'm high five to that. My wagon has been dragging today.
My wagon has been dragging.
You're Sue, and I haven't had any caffeine, so you guys bear with me. We're in for a ride. Paul, hello. Thank you for being here.
Hi, Paul.
And Scott is here. Scott,
Woohoo!
hello. We were just talking about you backstage that
Word.
I was telling Julie that I loved when she was on your show the other day. I really enjoyed that.
It was a lot of fun. I had a great time. We were just getting into those readings.
Yes, it's so much fun. So much fun.
It's a blast.
And Sky is here. Hello. And Jackie is in the house. Hello. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Julie. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for being here. Oh, and Annie says together. So Diana and Annie will be together tomorrow morning meditation at 7 a.m. And Julie was on this morning. It's and I have to say I am just so proud of you for doing it so early. Is it 6 or is it 7?
It's at 6 Pacific. Right now I'm still going through Terry's channel
Yeah.
because I'm trying to get myself savvy with the StreamYard and the YouTube because I've been kind of hanging back a bit. But I probably after she gets back, I might align it with all of us at 7 in the morning, just so there's continuity. Unless anybody has feedback that they wanted a particular way or if another time would work out, I'm totally open to suggestions. But when I finally take it over onto my channel, then we'll start fresh from there.
Yeah, and so Julie's on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and she's on Terry at Holding Your Space. She's on and does morning meditation at 6 a.m. Pacific, and it's fabulous. Scott is here. Hello, Scott. Thank you so much for being here. And Scott says he's been tired a lot too. Yep, I am with you. Um, Scott says he hopes you're feeling better, Julie.
Oh, thank you so much. I am actually. So, sometimes we just get a little bit of a rough day of it, and then we just snap out of it and keep on trucking.
Yep. and it's listening and taking those breaks when a person isn't feeling the best. Charlotte, hello. Thank you for being here.
Hi, Charlotte. Good to
Says
see
hello.
you.
Yes, so nice. And so I just I just want to touch base just before we get into talking about triggers and healing triggers. I just want to spotlight Julie for a little bit because I
Oh,
want her to be seen. She is such an amazing friend, sister, just light in our community that so go over and subscribe to her channel. Let's get her to 100. It's get her to 1,000 subscribers. But she is an amazing. She reads cards. She's been reading cards since she was a kid. She's an amazing card reader, healer, mom, and you have taken Colette Barron's classes, and you have done social work. I mean, you've done it all, and so you can go to Julie at Learning to Listen. I have her link down below. You can go to her channel, and she does intuitive readings, and she's intuitive, a sensitive, a psychic, and you were just talking about mediumship, that you're getting hits, and so you know she's very, very, very talented, and the world needs to see Julie, and so I am honored to have you on. And I think this topic today, emotional triggers, the path to deep healing, I think is going to be one that is just, we're all, the rise of consciousness right now is so huge, and when we look at our traumas and our triggers, and we do that healing work, it just elevates us up, and our gifts just increase even more. And so, you know what, I'm going to give you the floor, Julie, and let you speak.
oh my gosh, thank you so much. That was so sweet of you. And thank you. One of the things is when you've been doing this kind of work and then you stop and raise kids and have a career, it's kind of hard to get the gumption up to put yourself out there. And I would encourage anybody to just fling yourself at life and go ahead and do it. And part of the thing is the that everything starts to emerge with you, right? I've had mediumship since I was young, and different phenomenon and stuff, plus near death experience. And I'm probably will always mention one of my significant teachers, Dixie Yetarian, because I end up saying things that she and using her examples in a lot of things that I do in there. And she was a full possession kind of like medium. And it was fun, just outrageous. And psychic detective, and had her own psychic show and whatnot. So, it really has taken a while for me to put it all together with the confidence. But one thing that has really been amazing is with the Colette Baron Reed, what she does is she says, use your oracle cards on a daily basis, whether it's her deck or anybody's. And I think this is something to add to the component of trauma and whatnot, and you don't know what to do with yourself. And, counseling might not be your thing, or your friends, you feel like you're overburdening your pals with your business because it's stuff that isn't going away quickly, because trauma tends to linger in us, right? And so if you just pull a card every day, you know flexible, whatever. And what you do is you say, what does flexible mean to me today? And then you just use it as, how do I stay flexible with myself and allow myself to heal? And I just love the little things that you learn as you go on your path, really helps
Really.
you build your repertoire of ways to help yourself and others, and doing these kinds of shows and building your confidence. And I really appreciate everybody being here. And once again, thank you so much for saying your very kind words, because when you put yourself out in these ways, um, you take certain risks, right? But when you build your confidence little by little every day, it makes a huge difference. And I'm just happy to see everybody, um, come along for the ride, growing and learning and changing. It's all
Yeah.
possible.
So emotional triggers today are um first of all, I would like everybody to look at triggers. I mean, and when a person gets triggered, it's really hard to sometimes look at them this way, but I really would I try to look at them as blessings, and it might take me a few minutes, after the trigger happens to really to sit with it and go, okay, this is truly a blessing. But they really are a signal. They're a signal that something's going on, and it's to get our attention that there's something in our body that needs extra love. And Barbara says overgiving is one of my triggers.
Oh,
Well, Barbara, knowing your trigger that that's over half of it, right there. Is knowing that, you know, that's gonna trigger you. And I think because all of us are this community is so kind, so giving, and I think we all kind of maybe have a tendency of to overgive, and it's important to make sure that and it's good that we do, but to make sure that our cups are full.
right. Absolutely. And you know what? I've done that in the past. I have made so many blankets and just given them away for free. Like, I have an entire, like, maybe, I don't know, more than 100 over the years. And my daughter always says, Mom, when you die, I'm going to have everybody bring and make the blanket that you made for them. And we're just going to have the blankets out all over, like how the quilters do,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
mine are just fleece, cozy fleece blankets. But oh yeah, I gave them all away. And now I'm like, well, I'm not gonna sew any of those this week or next week, or maybe who knows when. I might not. I need to stop and, take care of me. I don't feel like I have to prove that anymore. Like, if I send somebody something, it's because I want to and it's fun.
I love that. And Scott says, I'm trying to pull back from over giving. It can drain your energy. It definitely does. And Annie says she
Yeah.
loves that Jules.
Yeah, it's true.
So emotional triggers, when they're activated, it can be a past wound that hasn't fully been processed, or a belief in yourself that is being challenged, and your nervous system will recognize that something feels unsafe, and they can show up as overreactions. It can we can If we're triggered, it can come in as feeling hurt, rejected, or unseen. And sometimes it'll come in as anger too, anger, frustration, and sometimes, and I know I'm guilty of this. Sometimes when
Mhm.
a person's triggered, a person will shut down, and I have been known to completely shut down when I'm triggered. And sometimes triggering in the body, the body can seize up, and you can feel tightness in your chest, that sinkiness in your stomach. And and then sometimes when a person's triggered, a person will get that the the looping of thoughts, where a person just keeps going over it and over it and over it, and trying to analyze it. And sometimes triggers can be from childhood experiences, past relationships, or this one I think is a big one too right now. It's old identities we've outgrown, and childhood conditioning is a huge one that I think a lot of us are aware of. Where if we're feeling not seen or not safe or not enough, um, it, they can come in as triggers, and core wounds too. For if a person's been rejected, and I know we taught on the show. I think the show you were on with Annie. Oh, you guys did a reading for me, and something
Oh
had come
yeah.
up about me being kicked out, and you said that you had been kicked out too. And so there's some abandonment. I For me, I'm going to speak for myself, but I know I do have abandonment triggers, and betrayal, and unworthiness. And so then the belief systems come in that I'm not good enough. I'm and sometimes we overgive because we think that's our way of showing our love to people. And so um you know our, really turning that around, and showering ourselves with love is something to help heal those past wounds. And I know you have some things too that
Well, it's
to share.
absolutely so true. Thank you so much for all of those points because yeah, the hamster wheel, it's like your intrusive thoughts, and I think that people think that will confuse. People like to analyze, and people like to be armchair psychologists, right? They like to say, oh, well, this one has this and this one has that and that diagnosis, and oh, that's a narcissist or that's a whatever. Drop it all because everyone has some kind of wound. It could be something that we came into this world with. It could be past life. It could be something that we don't have a conscious acknowledgement of, things that happened when we were babies. I've seen people go have regressions and go back into a time before they were born. They're, in and out of the body in the womb, right?
Mhm.
And they heard their parents arguing about whether or not to have the baby, to have that woman that was looking at her regression. And she heard them fighting. Oh, he didn't want the baby or she didn't want the baby. And so the baby came in having the soul, having heard that. And so not to increase guilt upon anybody who's been pregnant by accident or something, hello, and then you have the baby and you say, no, that was just a tussle about what life's practicalities, right? But we have so many things, and I think one thing that happens in trauma is because a lot of us are in the woo-woo community, we may have separated ourselves from regular religious life and our churches and systems of belief, right? And we're looking for that sense of belonging and that healing, right? And so I found this really great from a site from worthycounseling.org talking about having been in spiritually abusive environments as well. We know about it's all over the news what all kinds of triggers are out there about things that are going on. I don't even want to say, but
Yeah.
some of the best things that we can do is being in these groups. And when we get triggered, what they say is to in our journaling, we could do a lot just by journaling 20 minutes a day, close the book, open it up, write free form. No, if you have a poem or some idea for something, great. But it's mostly for just getting it out of your system. And that really can help a lot. But when we make a list of what our triggers are, to start looking at our triggers. You can call it shadow work if you want. There's all kinds of books and things and decks of cards, and we got people that are shadow healers and shadow readers, right? Hey, Hershey. And and so we have so many options of things that we can do that little by little, yeah, I love that. Scott says, I can be my own worst therapist. So
Yep,
when
right?
right, we're so judgmental. How come I can't get that like little intrusive thought out of my head? Well, it's because we haven't looked at it enough to say, that's not all about me. This is all somebody else's stuff. And this was put in my environment to keep me quiet so that I wouldn't talk about what was happening. So as we're growing and learning here in all these different ways and running around looking at all the reader friends and whatnot, and we're saying, you know what? I'm going to start looking at acknowledging what it was, starting to understand that something has happened. Seek the support of those around you, especially in this spiritual community. Work on having the best boundaries that you can. Sometimes it's rough, sometimes it's gentle. Oh, hello, everybody. And then we can start looking at reconstruction, recovery, different stages that we're in of that, learning to have compassion for ourselves. And
Yes.
then integrating everything, right? Annie Baird, the no bad parts, right?
Mhm.
So we're learning how to say, this happens to all of us. I don't think there's anybody who doesn't have some kind of trauma or
Oh,
and triggers
I mean,
and with that.
if they claim they didn't, they're obvious. I would venture to say that they're in denial.
You
Because I
think
mean,
that's a river in Egypt, I think. I don't know.
yeah, right? Because I mean, we come down here. This Earth School's all about learning, and it's it can be tough. It can be tough some days. I have a method that I just recently learned about that it's called the pause method. Have you heard of it?
A Pause.
Yeah.
I've heard some things, and Terry just started doing a reset, a soul pause, um, pop-ups that she does and that she was doing, before she went on vacation and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she's been doing some of that. So I'd love to hear what the pause is.
And it's PAUSE, and P is, for the pause, to stop the reaction, and don't react real, to pause before you react. A is for acknowledging the trigger, and why you're
Right.
triggered, and
I love
and
that.
and and to look at it, and feel into it, and see where exactly it's coming from, acknowledging it. U is for to understand it, and where is it coming from, what has happened in my life, is there something that is reminding me of something of the past that I'm triggered. And then the S is for soothe, and to place your hand on your heart, and on your solar plexus, and to breathe, and to take deep breaths, and just to really breathe in, feet on the floor, or on the ground, and just in grounding, to really regulate your nervous
Oh
system.
yeah.
And then the E is to expand, to choose a new conscious response instead of reacting to the wound, or the trauma, the trigger. And so I like that. It was just a quick little something. And even if you go, oh my gosh, what was P for? I think that will get a person paused enough to start thinking, okay, is it PA? It'll pause you, and
No, it's
it'll get you back in your.
Pissed. No, wait.
All right. Yeah,
And then the A is
exactly.
something else altogether, and the U is you, whoa, 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 blame and shame and
Yeah,
name and all
yep.
that. Yeah, but no, no.
It's like, you better stop. You better stop right now, right? Oh. So what else do you have?
Well, I have a bunch of stuff, but I think that what what we're doing is I got myself I've been into my working with the tuning forks, and there's a couple of combinations that are really good if anybody has the tuning forks out there to help you, because when you're looking at recovery, there's actually stages of recovery, guys. Woohoo! Establishing what? You're establishing safety and security, stabilizing your system with the pause and whatnot, and looking at self-care. And then you're going to have some remembrance of whatever is your trigger of the trauma, right? It's hooked straight to a trauma. Do not pass go. Push the button. Oops, there you go. You're hooked into it. You're gone, in the moment, like Annie practices saying, I can respond rather than react. I can say it over and over again to stop myself from the loop of doing it. And sometimes serenity prayer, even whatever, oh God help something. And then so we're going to remember and grieve a little bit. Grieving, you got to give yourself a little space for that. Grieving the loss of the time that's spent, that you have to dig deep and do the work and maybe apologize for something that you said or did, like I did yesterday. And then you can reconnect with yourself, with others, and resolve some of that trauma for yourself. Cut yourself a little bit of a break. Use your Ho'oponopono. Use whatever technique you've got. And it really, really helps knowing. I like knowing that there are cycles in it, just like death and dying and all these other things that we do. There are stages and phases, and we can normalize it, right? So, one of the things that I've been really loving is, everybody's talking about frequency and healing. And where is that? Like you were mentioning, where is it that in the body that it is sinking in you and sticking to you, like icky sticky thing?
Yeah.
And so, the solfeggio frequencies, the 396 is for liberating guilt and fear, and to transform your grief into joy, right? So that is this tuning fork. I don't know if you can hear it. You have to put it on something to hear it. Well, it's not working here. So it's got a high pitch plus a lower, so that's the 396. And
That's
then the 417, and this is in the full set of the solfeggio tuning forks. And then there's also the chakra tuning fork. So the next one in the solfeggio tuning forks is the 417, which facilitates change, cleansing traumatic experiences. So that those two can be used, and you usually put these near the ears, like, whoa, very loud in your ears. And you could put these near the area where you feel traumatized as well, and allow the frequency to ring completely through while you're, giving yourself the affirmation that you're allowing this to be released on the frequency waves, right? And then we also have the 136 ohm, which is the earth ohm. And these are the weighted ones that you put right on the part of the body that you feel you need to release this from, or where you're guided to. And if you're working with Reiki or some other modality or the healing, this is used for grounding, reducing stress, restoring feelings of safety, which is really important when you're having a trigger. So you could put this here. I could put that right here in my heart, and you could feel that vibration.
Which one was that?
This is the 136. This is the
I have that one too, right?
Earth ohm.
Oh no, I have 256.
That's good too. 256 is a good one. The where is it? The 256 at?
256 is for grounding.
Oh yeah. But this one, it's very deep and very resonant, and this is for grounding. And then the other one is the 128 hertz, and this is also for grounding and healing. So I think that those are a couple of options that you can use for just helping. You might not know all of what it is because it's in your cells, and your cells don't speak English, all the time. So you just allow to say, I'm allowing this to heal. I'm allowing this to just dissipate. And whatever the source is going to be revealed, and kind of move into a mode of trusting that you're going to heal.
Right. And there you're really on to something, this year, and we're getting drips and drips of it, that healing modalities and self-healing, and with sound frequency, all of that is really coming to light this year. And even by 2027, it's really going to be something that even Western medicine is going to be taking a look at. And Scott, I saw that you said that you wished you I'm sorry you don't feel safe where you live, and that too can be really hard on the nervous system. So, making sure that you stay grounded and in light, and cutting those cords of anything negative that you could be picking up from your location. Um, and I just want to just mention this, Scott. I wish I could afford to use some for healing. Um, there are YouTube channels that just do sound healing, that you can watch for free. And there's all different kind. You can do a search and what it is exactly that you're looking for. I have a membership. It's $4.99 a month, and I'm doing sound healing in that, if that's
Oh,
something,
nice.
for $5, if that was something. Because I want to make it affordable. But there's huge healing that comes from that.
Well, it's really, I think Scott, you mentioned that pardon me, that you have a little steel drum. Why don't you go ahead and look at your drum and see if there's what the name of the drum is, and you can actually look it up online. Like my little steel drum right here is a Tone Tribe drum. And so what you can do is you can look at that and see what they say about the healing properties of the drums, because it has a key to it. Or even if you just have a small little Tibetan drum where you can tap it and then around, and then you can just say, whatever you need to do. Look up a couple things, pretend, fake it until you make it something where you're just giving yourself a moment to relax and set yourself into a moment of feeling safe. Really, and Jason Stevenson is really good for a wonderful meditation. He does guided meditations, and that's free on YouTube. There's tons of
There are
stuff out
so
there on
many
YouTube.
people
It's
on
just
on
crazy.
YouTube. And Scott, even that drum, I really feel like you have that drum for a reason. And it that could really be, just I would just start playing it, and see how it makes you feel in your body, and see if it resonates with you. But Julie has that metal drum, and a person doesn't need fancy equipment either. If you have a bell, ringing a bell, that's frequency that changes our energy, that rises, that our vibration rises through that. Chimes, wind chimes, if you have some, put some in your house, and just walk by them and hit them from time to time. That too will change the energy of in your space. And if you have them outside, all the better.
And you can also, on your Amazon or whatever else you do, you can have yourself a wish list. This was given to me. I didn't buy it. Somebody else gave it to me because they knew I'm a wacky nut musician. But I did see something here that was interesting. Who was it that said that their daughter was it works in a hospital. She's a nurse, and she's
Yes, I was
using
just
her
going to find
Reiki.
it. Charlotte.
Now, I
I
used to,
saw it
yeah,
too.
Charlotte, that's amazing. And in hospice, they have threshold choirs where people will go in and sing for people who are in hospice, or there are people who go in and play the harp, or, there's so many music and sound therapies that are really good
Really?
at calming and centering for these things.
Yeah.
And it's something we all can have access to, because I think there's in times when people are really stressed out about having stuff and buying things and getting trainings and all this kind of stuff. We have so much available to us on the internet.
Right. Right, just within YouTube, and just looking around at the stuff we have. Um i i'm i have i have these bowls. They look like they're copper. I don't think that they're copper. I think they're maybe just copper on the outside, but I don't know where they came from. And one day I was just playing around, and I had my mallet, and I hit the bowl, and it was absolutely beautiful. And so, look around a person's house too, and see what you have. And I mean, it sounded like, and there was stacks of them. There was big ones, small ones, and they all had different tones. And it was just by chance that I did that.
Did you see what Barbara said? She said, I took a drum lesson on a cardboard box yesterday in a sound conference.
See, right? Exactly. Yep. I mean, you can do it on your table too. It just, yeah. Christine is here. Hello, Christine. Thank you for being here.
Christine.
Oh, I love that. I love singing bowls.
Does anybody have any other questions about what might be a trigger, or how to help yourself work into identifying them?
I what does Scott say? My wife told me after I got home that I'm not a musician. I told her that's not the point of it. Oh, I'm so sorry, Scott. Sometimes I think people just say stuff, and they're just, and not giving her a pass, but just they don't realize the effect of their words sometimes. You know what? You do you. And when she sees how it lights you up and makes you feel, she'll understand. She'll understand.
And I think that everybody, whether you're now, I majored in music, so it doesn't really matter to me. I think everybody has music. Everybody's got a soul. We got all kinds of etheric connections and all kinds of stuff. And I haven't played an instrument in years, and I used to sing. And the most important part about you using drums, and even if you just sit and you just hit that drum one time, and sit and feel that or goof around with it. The way you can say that is, I'm learning to meditate and I'm working with frequency. And that's just, I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to be a star here. I'm just trying to feel that vibrational music and healing, and hopefully you can transform that.
I love that, Julie. And he says, I had an aspect of inner self from 25 years ago come up yesterday while I was walking in
Mhm.
nature. I welcomed her home to my heart with deep gratitude and peace. That's the way you do it.
Ugh,
I love that, Annie. You know, it was, and we never know. I mean, you were out on a beautiful walk, and all of a sudden those little things come up, and I'm so glad that you acknowledged it and loved it and sent her home.
I want to do that when I grow up.
Right?
Oh, that was a, oh no, I thought that again. Come on in, kid. And that's the whole thing. That's why I was looking online, like what's a good deck for, trauma work and trigger work, right? And they said in inner child decks and things that help us just go ahead and get small and find that place in ourselves that says, hey, I think I do need to give myself some extra love here.
Mhm.
Parent yourself where you might not have been parented. Give yourself the grace and the love when other people did not. And we're looking outside of ourselves from for it. Because trauma is a result of overwhelming sense of danger, powerlessness, and fear. Healing is a result of feeling safe, empowered, and supported. And we can give ourselves some of that for sure.
And he says healing is a process. Mental, physical, and emotion triggers are there to catch our attention. That some part of us need love. So true. So true. They're little blessings. I have written down that your triggers reveal where your power is still tied to the past. They don't come to punish you, they come to free you. And every trigger is pointing you back to yourself.
I love that. Can you say that again, please?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Your triggers reveal where your power is still tied to the past. They don't come to punish you, they come to free you. Every trigger is pointing you back to yourself.
I love that.
And
Did
Annie
you
says,
write did you write that?
yeah, yeah. Annie
Very
says, I
nice.
tell myself I can respond rather than react over and over at times. And that's so true. And getting to that state where a person can be triggered, and if it's another person that has triggered you and you look at them and just go, oh, and but I'm very vocal now. I will say out loud, you know what, that just triggered me, and I'm going to sit with that for a moment. And so I let the other person know that what you've said has triggered me, and I'm going to need a moment to digest it, process it, sit with it, and for me that was a huge step because you know before I would either I would go isolate myself or I would my tongue can be sharp and I would
Mhm,
yep I would
mhm.
let him have it and talk about growth, right? I mean to get to that point where the pause that that I talked about earlier is huge.
That's amazing that you actually had the fortitude to go, oh, whoa, like I'm triggered, man. All these other things that I've already got a paragraph I'd like to say. But no, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna process this. And it's like back in the old days, it was like I'm gonna just say all this stuff because I'm right and I
Right.
know it and yabba dabba do. And it's like, no, just stop right now, take a deep breath.
Right.
Don't do it. Don't say it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Well, and
Yeah.
you know what I've learned from voicing that, you know what, you just triggered me. What I'm seeing within my family is they're starting to say it too now. They'll be like, okay, that triggered me. And I'm like, wow. I mean, it's like I almost
Like,
like clap.
ooh,
Like,
everybody's triggered.
yep. And I'm like, that's huge growth right there. If you notice it and can speak about it out loud, now sit with it and figure out where exactly it came from. Um, Barbara says it's a part of being human. Yeah, this
Yeah.
isn't that isn't that the truth? And Annie says our wounds hide our greatest potential. So true. And when we heal those wounds is when we really come into our own. And it's one of the biggest gifts that we can give ourselves.
It's quite the vulnerable thing to do, because everybody can attack and fight back,
Yeah.
but it doesn't really help. When you reach a point of, okay, I don't want to fight anymore. I don't want to fuss anymore. I don't want to fight with myself anymore. It's like kind of 12-steppy where you're kind of surrendering and you're letting go and you're asking the creator, your guides and your angels to help you in that moment. If your mom and dad are passed or somebody, say, please, we didn't do it right. Let's just help me get it right now. Help me
Right?
fix what I did. Help me fix what I did yesterday. I did something yesterday. I was like, oh, because it's huge. Oh my God, am I up too loud? And so
No.
I have to do this. I got massive, monstrously triggered. And so that's my wound for me to heal from, to say I am still so hurt by this thing. I don't have to know everything about why, what, why, how, whatever. I could write 5 pages right now. But what I wanted to and in this part of it say is that I think I loved finding this. Let me put it right up there so you can see it. It's
And
like a
and
card. It's like a
and read
card, only bigger. I'm going to
read
read it.
it to us. Yeah.
I am in tune with the universe. I'm worthy of everything good. I am whole on my own. I am becoming the person I've dreamt of being. And I'm safe in this moment. And that just made me feel like, this is the kind of thing I'll put on my mirror in the bathroom, or right up where I can roll over and see it. I'm safe. I'm whole. I'm here. I'm okay. And everything's going to be all right. And train my brain for 28 days not to react into, go to panic land about these things that lingering. And I'm not young. I'm going to be 68 here in a couple of months. And you know what? You think, oh, I should have all this stuff handled, but that's not the way life works.
No, it's a continual. It's something that we'll work on until we leave this planet. It's just it's continue, but it's continue growth, right? I mean, and I love how you said you're going to put that somewhere where you can see it. Where if you roll over, in bed, you can see it on your mirror. And if somebody would walk in here, it's like I have my nightstand that sits up higher. I have notes of just of affirmations and intentions on that. And I have a huge vanity mirror that I can see right here. It's plastered with things like that I have printed out. And then I've taken just sheets of paper and I've created, cut out hearts. And then I've taken Sharpies and I have written, you are worthy, you are needed. And I have my morning prayer on on my mirror. And then I know I've talked to you guys about this. I have all of our doors in our house were new when we moved in, except the only door that wasn't is our my bathroom door in here. And so what I have done is I have taken and I have Sharpies and I have written all over the bathroom door. And so when you're sitting on the pot, you can read all of, I mean, and not everybody can do this because I mean my door was old and but you wouldn't have to write on it. You could plaster it with, with notes and affirmations and printouts like that you have there just of inspiration.
I love that actually.
And Paul says we are all here for a reason. Yes. Amber, hello. It feels good to have control of your thoughts and emotions in those moments of recognition. Right? There is a sense of power that comes with that, just knowing that but like you yesterday, I mean, do not beat yourself up because we all get like that where there's times that we just lose our shit and that's okay too.
We
I
do.
mean, hmm
We do. And I think that's really important part of the process is really knowing that it's okay. And that, we, if we're with people who really love us and they, sometimes people like to hit the trigger. They like to press the button, and they know they got you. It's easy to do. And so then we can communicate better. I think when we come to a consensus in our environment, in our home with our family, if we can, um, you know, uh, it can really help
really.
a lot with your recovery. And then if everybody catches on that they can recover from their triggered stuff too, and make an environment of a more supportive environment in your family, because that's
Yes,
a big one too.
it is big. And you know what else is family sometimes family and super super close friends can sometimes be the most triggering because they know how to they know our soft spots. And so if they're looking to trigger us, they know exactly where to go to do
I
so.
know. It's just crazy.
Well, should we pull some cards for the collective? Barbara says,
That
when
would
my
be
mom
great.
had dementia, music reached her on a whole nother level. Oh yeah, Barbara. Yeah, music is really a beautiful thing. Whether it's and was it music that she grew up listening to, from her her teenage years or adult life. Is that the music that you played for her, just out of curiosity? Because I know when my dad was passing, I talked to the hospice there and I told him, I said, he needs music. And I told him, that he loved Johnny Cash and he
Mhm.
loved Bruce Springsteen and I gave some of the artists that he liked, and I said that I want you to, if the TV's not on, unless he's sleeping, I said I want you to play music for him.
That's great. Yeah, that it really helps a lot. I did that with my dad. We just play some like new age music or something, or he really liked Johnny Cash and like Josh Turner because my dad used to sing. He was a baritone and he just loved it. So music, whatever works for you, your old jams, whatever, something that always made you feel good, switch into the music. You can make a whole plan into your life of how you're going to manage triggers because we could be triggered all day. Who knows? You know,
Yeah. Yep.
everybody that walks in when you need time and you need space, and everybody's coming in and you're a hot little trigger, so it all depends on how much we balancing out work, play, sleep, all those little things that don't go well every day. And so we we gotta belly up to the resource bar and start figuring out what our plan is little by little. And after 30 days, you can change some of your habits because it's been thoroughly researched at 28 to 30 days. You can change how you feel about something. So we can actually affect adding some of these little things in, we can affect changes in how we feel in a very short period of time, really.
Oh, definitely, definitely. And Barbara said yes, that was it. And Paul's mom loved Elvis. Yeah,
Elvis.
I love Elvis too. Well, let's pull some. We're coming up to the top of the hour. You guys, thank you so much for being here. Julie and I will pull whatever however many cards you want, whatever feels comfortable.
Okay. Oh, I love this. I pulled from the Healing the Inner Child Oracle. And this one is really goes well with the concept, tending your garden, tending the roses, stopping to smell them, making sure everything's going good over time, over the season of the flowering and the growth. Take your time as you would with tending your flowers, tending your garden. Take that kind of care with yourself. We're learning in all these triggers and we're learning to love ourselves. Oh, and this is really great here is I went for the Healing Waters by Rebecca Campbell and Bounteous.
Oh,
I
her
love
cards
it.
are
And
so beautiful.
they're so gorgeous. And this is generously given relationships and coming together. And the most important one is, of course, the one we have with ourselves. And it will flow into our relationships around us when people expect us to hit that, when we get hit with those triggers, uh-oh, their reaction's coming. And we say, oh no, I'm not doing that anymore,
Mhm.
you know. And I've heard Annie talk about this in meditation and in other shows where she's like, oh yeah, remember, we're not doing that anymore.
Right?
Let's
I love that. Yep. Nope, not doing that anymore.
so there you go.
Was that you're done?
Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead.
I got this is Rebecca Campbell's water it's the ocean deck, I think.
The
Um
Healing Waters. Oh, it's the
yeah,
ocean
or
deck.
the healing waters. I got the pink dolphin. Celebration, fun, unbridled joy, open your heart. That's a good message for all of us, and with everything going on, just to find the joy sometimes in your beverage, in the sunshine, the rain, the birds singing, whatever it may be, just those simple little things, to find the extra joy in that. And then I'm not sure what deck this is. I pulled rest, that we're all just needing a little extra rest, and to honor that. If you're feeling tired, if you're feeling fatigued, take that nap, or crawl back in bed if you need to, or just rest. And the thing I sometimes struggle with is resting without guilt, because resting during the day, growing up wasn't good. You just, if you did that, you were lazy. And so resting without guilt, with your comfy blanket, and journaling, watching your favorite programs. And then I got sing. And there too, whether you using your hairbrush as a microphone and dancing around and singing and raising your vibration, and is wonderful too. So yeah.
It's International Dance Day.
Is it?
Yes, go ahead and get your groove on, people.
Oh my gosh. If that's something that we could all do, whether we're in the kitchen cooking dinner, dance between the stove, the sink, the refrigerator, yeah, dance, have a dance off. And if it's your spatula, you can use your spatula to sing into and sing and dance. Erin Marie, hello. Thank you for being here. Well, you guys, thank you. Thank you so much for hanging out and sharing your time with Julie and I. And I hope you got some helpful tips out of today. And like I said in the beginning, be sure to go over and check out Jules Learning to Listen. The link is down below, and
Thank
and
you.
check out her check out her channel, and check out what she offers, readings and healings, and check Julie out.
And
Julie,
I
thank
only
you.
need one. I'm sorry. I only need one more to hit 100. One
So
more
you've gotten
sub.
two. Good, 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 good. And you know what? I have so many that watch in the middle of the night from other countries. So to all of you that are going to be watching now in the future, be sure to go over and subscribe to Jules Learning to Listen. And
Thank you
everybody,
so much.
oh yeah, take care of yourselves, love on yourself, love on others, and we will see you
So,
soon. Bye bye.
thank you. Bye bye.